Hello and welcome to Time Warp Taste Test, a brand new game where we're going to have 4 foodie items under the cloche and our players are going to try and work out where in history they are from. Today playing our very own Jamie, normal home cook, and Harrison, friend of the channel and fellow foodie. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
How good's your history?
Terrible. I failed, so I'm going to be embarrassing.
Okay, I might have a chance.
Yeah.
The good news is the timeline is behind you. It will fit somewhere on there. And as always, you guys can play along at home in the comments to see if you can work it out. The first one is under the cloche.
Please,
Do we pull it off?
guesses first,
Okay.
yeah.
We got cheese.
Cheese and a chutney.
Absolutely. See if you can work out what cheese it is. That's the cheese we're looking for.
I mean, just by looks of us, I'm going to go with
Looks like
cheddar.
Cathedral City.
Salisbury.
No.
Not cheddar.
It's not cheddar.
I won't have
not
any
a
of the
cheddar.
chutney.
Bear in mind, cheddar is named after the place it's made. This is a
That's not cheddar.
This is a different
Oh.
place.
No.
What is that? Doesn't even taste milky, does it?
No.
Quite subtle, quite crumbly. Often pairs beautifully with fruit and made famous by a British duo.
What?
Anton Deck.
Wallace and Gromit.
Right, fine.
Oh, I know it.
Wensleydale.
Oh, yeah.
Wensleydale.
It is Wensleydale cheese we're looking at.
Wensleydale.
I think I've only had Wensleydale with fruit in it, like cranberries, because it comes as part of like a cheese selection from a supermarket generally. It's the one that doesn't really get eaten.
The one with either cranberries or apricots in it.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever had a plain standalone Wensleydale.
I've used it in a mac and cheese once.
Yeah? How did it go?
Experiment. It was good. It was good. It tasted better than that, actually, with a lot of other ingredients. But you give me cheese, I'm gonna gnaw on that, mate.
So obviously this cheese we bought this week from a supermarket, but what we want you to put on the board is when was Wensleydale cheese first made? I'll give you some clues. It had French influence. It was monks that came across from Roquefort and settled in Wensleydale. And the monks in the monastery for 400 years made this cheese before the locals really took much notice. They were big sheep farmers, they had a good trade in wool, and it was always a sheep's milk, albeit nowadays it might be cow's milk.
No, see, Harrison, you have to actually listen to what he said because...
That hasn't helped.
No,
helped at all.
But what he likes to do is pepper the clues in when he doesn't think you're really listening.
Oh, okay. Well,
And
400 years. I heard 400. That was key.
so we can take at least
Minus, yeah.
400
Yeah,
off.
we're safe there. So none of that, we're good.
Anywhere from there backwards is a possibility.
And I can tell you about the same period we're looking at, and there is a rough date, but we're going to give you 100 years either side of it as your tolerance.
Oh, you're so generous.
There is a wonderful fictional story about someone who stole from the rich and gave to the poor.
Not in France.
No.
Well, there might be, but...
In the UK, at the same time that our Cistercian monks were in Wensleydale making cheese.
Are we writing Wensleydale and then just slapping it on?
You're going to try and write a date and slap it on your map. I'll give you some other clues.
To the year. Oh, God.
Wensleydale is now a PGI cheese, so protective geographic indication, has been since 2013, but we're talking a long time ago when this cheese was first made. It almost fell out of fashion and got lost. It's been revived. Wallace and Gromit pretty much brought it back from extinction when there was only one dairy making it and suddenly repopularised it. But the date we want is way back when Oxford University was formed and they started building the Notre Dame. 100 years either side, this is how the game works. They will get 3 points if they can put a date in that tolerance. If neither of them manage it, then whoever's closest will take a point. 4 rounds, we'll see who wins. Other fun facts, Britain's first paper mill was thought to have been founded in this period. It happened in Hertford, at a place called Sill Mill, where I lived for 9 years.
Really? That was...
Britain's first paper mill.
Was in... Really? That, you lived
Founded at
there?
the same time as Wensleydale cheese, Robin Hood, Oxford University and the Notre Dame. And the final little nugget, which I think is
I've
entertaining.
committed before all these nuggets.
The Bull Ring in Birmingham, the commercial market centre, was founded. Are any of those clues standing out? Have you guys got it at home?
I want to go 1400.
1400?
I'm going to go about there.
I've gone 1250.
Okay.
I can reveal that the Cistercian monks first settled in Wensleydale, in Yorkshire, in about 1150. And we were giving you 1050 to 1250. Jamie, you scrape it in with 3 points. Well done.
What was the clue that got it for you?
If I'm honest, none of them.
Yeah, okay, just checking.
I was thinking about Notre Dame because that burnt down and they've been rebuilding it, and there was lots of stuff in the news about how old it was and things like that. Not that I can remember any of it.
But it was a big number.
It was a big number.
Jamie, 3 points as we move in to round 2. Okie dokie. Number 2, slightly more recent.
Oh, yes.
Oh, cookies. Raisin cookies?
Have a look at them, have a feel, have a taste, have a snap. Do they snap? Do they crumble? What do you think they are? Can you pick out any discerning flavours?
Well, yeah, it is raisin, isn't it?
Crumbly.
Quite short.
Yeah, I'd say quite plain.
Yeah.
Quite a historic cookie, classic tea time treat in the UK. Sometimes traditionally they were even dipped into ale to soften them because they go very dry, and they would just be sort of softened up a little bit with some local beer. So sometimes you'd find them in bars, but otherwise the classic tea time treat as it is loved now. They're called Shrewsbury cakes from the county town of Shropshire, Shrewsbury. They're not very common as a biscuit, and we actually had to have these shipped in from a family baker, so they were literally made this week and shipped to us because they're quite regional even now as a classic. Kind of ingredients, heavy on butter, flour, sugar, but very almost shortbready. There's that much butter in them.
Yeah.
Lemon zest, caraway, nutmeg, sometimes rose water. So you've got those kind of floral flavours coming into what at the time was a very traditional biscuit.
And there was me thinking we were talking about Maryland cookies or something like that, bringing it a bit more up to date.
Nope, this is Shrewsbury, and in fact, it's thought that old Shaky B wrote about it in Twelfth Night. Sir Toby Belch, the character in the Twelfth Night, written by Shakespeare, "Dost thou think because thou art virtuous, there shall be no more cakes and ale?" And he was talking about the Shrewsbury cake served with ale in the pubs.
Wow. Okay. How's your Shakespeare knowledge?
Harrison thought he'd coming onto a food show.
I didn't know it was a history channel, yeah.
We've got the original recipe from this year that we're hoping you'll find. But they weren't just a popular tea time treat in England, they also became very popular in the colonies. So India, Pakistan, other British colonies, where they added local spices, fennel, cumin seed, coriander seed, into a sweet biscuit. So again, think about the time at which the British Empire was expanding in that direction and taking traditions like Shrewsbury cakes with them. Just to let you know, we can give you a tolerance of 50 years either side. So we want the century that it's in.
I don't know how it would be dunking in ale, though.
If only we could try that.
You're terrible. Feels very fitting. Back in the day, the kind of beer and ale that was being drunk pretty much all day long was nutritious, and a small beer, a table beer, about 2.5%. There's a lager, and there's our co-creation with small beer, Blanche.
So you're telling me, in Shrewsbury, yeah, they order a sorted beer, they get one of these, and they do that.
Well, it was a bit more stale back in the time, but old Shaky B, that's what he was saying.
Right. I really like that.
No, mate, you're messed up.
I really
if you
like that.
That's the beer's great. Beer's great. But this and the good, mate.
Yeah, I'm on board.
If you can't pinpoint what they were doing in Shrewsbury during this period, then at the same time, the Spanish Armada was defeated. Potatoes were introduced to England in this period, and it was about 100 years before the UK adopted the Gregorian calendar.
I did a video recently visiting like one of the oldest restaurants, and it was like opened in 803. And I was saying, oh, I'm eating all this traditional food, and everyone was going, they didn't have potatoes back in 803. So
it's not down there. Okay.
We're not there. Everything in there was safe. I don't want to commit.
Committing.
Right, slap them on the board, boys. What have you got?
I've gone for 1400.
I've gone 1650 because I'm a fool.
Interesting. Quite far apart on this occasion.
Only 50 years tolerance as well.
I can reveal the earliest known written reference for Shrewsbury cake dates back to 1602. We give you a 50-year tolerance. Harrison's absolutely nailed it.
Oh no!
3 points apiece.
I was not confident on that one.
Well, that's pretty damn good.
We've only had potatoes for 400 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, obviously they came across from South America originally, and then it was probably the Spanish and or the French. Marie Antoinette was also famed with sort of popularising potato by wearing potato flowers in her hair. Lots of history around the potato because people thought they were the devil's food because they came from under the ground and they looked kind of muddy.
They're the best food.
If you only knew.
If you only knew what a triple cooked chip was.
Roast potato. Give us a salted beer and a roasted potato.
Excellent work, Harrison. Now, on the biscuit tree, where are you putting Shrewsbury cakes?
It's fallen down and hit a few branches for me on the way down.
Bourbon biscuit still remains top for me.
Comment down below, is Harrison correct or not?
Yes.
Yes, says Don from behind the camera.
100%. And then, sorry, someone hands you a custard cream and you're like, mate, don't even come at me with that. Don't.
Right, this has got really competitive now.
3 points apiece, we move into round 3. The third one is in front of you.
Back
Help
to you,
yourself.
please.
Am I doing the honours? Fortune cookies.
Fortune cookies.
Oh, I love these.
Well, I'm hoping I could open it and it's going to tell me what year it was invented.
I was just going to say, maybe there's like an established date on here,
I
actually.
think it's like a penguin bar, they've got facts inside them.
You see, now they're using E numbers and stuff, so this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You weren't doing that back in 900, were you?
I have to be honest, I hadn't looked at the packaging to see if there are any clues.
Well, you didn't, yeah, the rules are the rules, eh?
Yeah.
What do you know about fortune cookies? Where do you associate them with?
Sounds silly, but I actually associate them with San Francisco and Chinese cuisine. But Chinese cuisine, but not actually in China. I feel like it's something that might have happened in China, but actually has been popularised outside of China.
That is fun fact trivia. And you've taken the words right off my card.
Have I really? I thought I was making it up.
I've also heard you crack a fortune cookie and you're supposed to eat it and then you look at the fortune.
Okay,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Apparently.
fine. You should be on that side.
I don't know how it makes any difference because what is printed is printed. It's not going to change.
No, but you always feel better about good news on a full stomach, right? Excellent wisdom inside these. Sometimes they're inspirational, sometimes they're witty, sometimes they're roasts. It really depends on what brand you buy into.
I mean, they're very plain in flavour, very dry, very crispy.
Sweet.
I wouldn't be able to tell you what flavour they have.
Essentially a tweel, something that you can bake and it's soft when it comes out the oven. You can quickly shape and it sets pretty hard.
What's your fortune?
Your positive attitude will result in success. I have to imagine that it's talking about this game right here.
That's how fortunes work.
If you continually give, you will continually have.
Oh, I like that. That works on a lot of different levels.
Sentimental.
Yeah, sweet.
Sweet. You're not happy.
I was hoping something about that already.
I was born in...
Absolutely right though, Jay. Whilst associated with Chinese food, Chinese restaurants, they're actually traceable back to Japan,
Oh.
but brought across with Japanese immigrants and kind of began life as the fortune cookie in San Francisco.
Oh!
So they're based on the Japanese senbai, which is a toasted rice wafer. But some claim that the first known place, and this is the date we're looking for, the first known place to serve fortune cookies was the Japanese tea garden in San Francisco. And actually, a gentleman called Hagiwara was the caretaker in San Francisco Japanese tea garden. And apparently he was fired by a racist mayor, but it was the locals that fought to bring this guy back into his role as caretaker of the Japanese garden, so he would make cookies and put thank you notes in them for all of the guests. That's where the story started, a Japanese man working in San Francisco, but it later became more common in Chinese cuisine and Chinese restaurants. Some of the funniest messages we found in fortune cookies: beware of the fortune cookie that judges you. That wasn't chicken you just ate. You will find love unless you keep swiping left, and for rectal use only. Oh. These are all real fortune cookies.
Oh. Ebbers, I think we're going to need some other clues.
You're in luck, because there were lots of firsts in this period.
Oh, good.
The first Zeppelin, the first aeroplane, the first Nobel Prize was awarded, and, because of all the crumbs of the fortune cookies, the first vacuum cleaner.
Okay.
If you want more of the science angle, also the theory of relativity. These all happened in the same 20-year gap, so 10 years either side.
I'm going to commit.
Comment down below how many of you at home knew that the fortune cookie was not in fact Chinese, but a Japanese invention created in San Francisco.
I love the community in these moments because there are always people who have far more knowledge than any of us put together, and will tell you the exact date and the exact destination and why your fact was just wrong.
And I should caveat this, there are other origin stories that do exist out there. This one stems as being the most reliable based on some historian who went back to try and find exactly that. And also, it's a lovely story, so I'm here for it.
What have you done?
I've done 1905.
I've done 1895.
Oh!
Both pretty close, considering we're looking for a 20-year tolerance. The fortune cookie is thought to have been invented between 1907 and 1909. Jamie just gets it.
Will you stop saying
and Harrison,
just?
you're 2 years out, but damn close. Jamie taking the 3 points, which puts you 6 points to 3 as we go into the final round. Any final thoughts of wisdom when it comes to fortune cookies?
They didn't really help, did they?
No, but I did have a positive attitude and I did succeed.
Wow. Maybe I should take this more seriously. Damn.
Good news is, still 1 round to play. All still to play for. Lift the cloche.
I'd love for you to do the last one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, yes.
Fish fingers. Anatomically difficult.
And if it helps you on date, best before May 26.
There he is, Captain Birdseye.
So obviously a classic, fish finger, possibly the world over, but I think it's a very British thing. We'll come on to the backstory in a minute. Always handy to have in the freezer. We want the date that Birdseye launched the fish finger. For clarity, the company is named after Clarence Birdseye, born in Brooklyn in 1886. But he was a naturalist.
Oh, was it?
Naturalist, not naturist. Naturally curious fella, and apparently, when faced with nature that he hadn't encountered before, often his first thoughts were, what does it taste like and how do I cook it?
That's a man after my own heart.
He learned ice fishing from local Inuits in Labrador before pioneering fast fish freezing methods when realising that minus 40 degrees, fish would freeze immediately. More than 15 billion Birdseye fish fingers have sold in the UK alone.
Wow.
Developed in Great Yarmouth, Norfolk. And the original marketing slogan, no bones, no waste, no smell, no fuss.
Didn't help.
Doesn't help. Doesn't help.
We are looking for 5 years either side
Flipping
of this date in our final round. A short time before release, they tested fish fingers made from herring and cod with the general public, but they settled on cod in this year, and it's the year we want, or 5 years either side. What I can tell you...
Here we go. Here we go.
It's the same year that the Guinness Book of Records first published, that Cardiff was declared the capital of Wales, Coca-Cola produced the first can of Coke, and Elvis Presley had his first TV appearance. Ooh. Or, if Elvis isn't your music style, the first Eurovision Song Contest was planned. It didn't actually happen until the spring of the following year.
Right, Ebbers, before I commit...
I've got one more...
There we go, see
There you
that?
go, that's it. That was the
I've got
cue.
one more thing to build on from what you said a moment ago, Jamie. Estimates suggest that by 1960, fewer than 5% of UK homes had a freezer. Was this a premium product back in the day for that 5%? Or would you wait until a few more of the UK have got freezers? You've both committed, fun game, lots of facts. What are you slapping on the board?
Go on.
No, you go on. You go on, mister.
1962.
See, I'm thinking Birdseye were like, oh, this is a really small market, but we see this getting bigger.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 1958. Because it was before.
Before the freezer
It was
took
like, oh,
off.
this is a small market, we can get in on this. We'll steal that person's face.
So you reckon people bought freezers because of the fish fingers?
Honestly, yes. How many? 15 billion sold?
15 billion sold in the UK, they reckon. In 1955. Harrison nails it. You are spot on, Harrison.
done.
In 1955, the number of households with a freezer was less than 1%.
They
And
saw
Birdseye
it.
went, we've got this.
1%, and they thought, let's have ya.
We'll have some of that.
Let's have ya.
What it does mean, gents, is that was a lovely draw, which means we all learn, we all win, and you guys get the final say. How did you do? If you liked it, give the video a thumbs up, and while you're on the channel, make sure you go and check out Harrison. Loads of awesome food adventures out and about. Restaurants, big, small, expensive, old, cheap, cheerful, the lot.
Thank you. Damn, I didn't know I was getting that.
Oh, thanks for coming in. It's nice to actually compete against someone who's,
On the same level.
Giving a bit back.
Yeah.
Usually it's just, try and dumb yourself down, make sure they don't look too stupid. This is nice. I like this. It's good.
It's a fair point. We've only played this once on the live show and Jamie won. And now you're drawing with Harrison. So joint winner.